And yet another very lovely evening out there to all of you, my dear friends. Today we're going to be refuting the Preterist take of Jeff Durbin.
And the point I'm making there is that actually the study of the Great Tribulation as something that already occurred vindicates Jesus as Messiah. When we argue that the Great Tribulation that Jesus gave in the Olivet Discourse is something that is in our past, we are making the point that it vindicates Christ as Messiah. It vindicates the Scriptures as divine in origin, because God told this story as a thread and everything happened on time and as promised. So it's not a matter of saying, I want to take something amazing away from you. The Great Tribulation is not in your future. How sad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How sad. No, I'm not trying to take anything good away from you. I'm actually presenting, as many Christians have done throughout church history, that Jesus actually is vindicated as the Messiah because what he promised in the Olivet Discourse actually happened on time and as planned. That's the argument.
Now, in case you're wondering who Jeff Durbin is, he's a minister of the Apologia Church. First of all, what is preterism? It comes from the Latin, which means past or beyond. It's a Christian eschatological view or belief that is of the end times, eschatological. It's a belief in the end times that interprets some or all prophecies of the Bible as events which have already been fulfilled in history. For example, preterists believe most or all the prophecies of the book of Revelation have already been fulfilled with the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD. Now, there are two types of preterism, partial preterism and full preterism. We're going to go over these real quickly. Partial preterism is also known as Orthodox preterism. These types believe that most prophecies were fulfilled in AD 70 or during the persecution of Christians under the Emperor Nero, in whom they take to be the Antichrist of the book of Revelation. There's also full preterism, which I do believe Jeff is fully involved in right here. It's also known as hyper-preterism, and this teaches that Jesus has already returned. There is no future resurrection of the dead, and we are currently living in a spiritualized version of the new heavens and new earth. Now, there are so many problems with both views, but especially full preterism. Let's go over 10 reasons why the things in the book of Revelation could not have occurred, as well as in other places, but could not have occurred in 70 AD, the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD. Number 1, Revelation 6, 1 through 8 says, Jesus allows Antichrist, remember whenever he's breaking the first seal, he allows Antichrist to take control of the world, who then goes about causing a world war, leading to the death of 1/4 of the world's population. Now, as we all know, such an event did not occur in or around 70 AD. A quarter of the world back then would have been some 75 million people. They estimate that the world population was around 300 million back at the time of Christ. But that many, 75 million, would have had to have died back then in order for such a prophecy to be fulfilled. But estimates instead range from the still tragic 600,000 to 1.1 million. Now, the second reason why the preterist view is unbiblical is because Revelation 8:8 says an asteroid will strike the sea during the final 3.5 years of the tribulation period. And as we all know, no such event ever occurred around 70 AD. Number 3, Revelation 16:4 says all water is rendered undrinkable in the last days. All water. And of course, we all know no such event ever occurred around 70 AD. Revelation 16:3 says every fish in the sea dies. And of course, no such event ever occurred around 70 AD. Number 5, Revelation 16:18 says the largest earthquake in history destroys every city on earth and sinks every island. Such a catastrophic event has never occurred. Not around 70 AD. There have been far worse earthquakes since that time. Revelation 16:12 says the Euphrates River is dried up, allowing the world's armies to gather and fight against Israel. No such event ever occurred around 70 AD. Revelation 19:11 and Zechariah 12:8 and 9, etc. says that Christ will physically return and save Israel from annihilation. Christ physically returns and saves them from annihilation from the world's armies, killing the Antichrist and false prophet of Revelation 13. No such event ever occurred around 70 AD. Jerusalem was instead destroyed, and the nation was lost for almost 2,000 years. Revelation 20:1 through 3 says that Satan is then bound for 1,000 years while Christ reigns peacefully over the entire world. Obviously, no such event ever occurred. The world has grown more and more evil since 70 AD. There's not been world peace. Number 9, Revelation 20 through 22, the final chapters of Scripture, says that Satan will then be eternally cast into the lake of fire, along with all other wicked people, while the children of God forever dwell in the New Jerusalem. No such event has occurred, my dear friends. We can so easily tell this. Evil is still very much present, and we are not peacefully dwelling in the New Jerusalem. And finally, aside from all of these facts, the ancient historians such as Irenaeus recorded how John wrote the book of Revelation around 96 AD during the reign of Emperor Domitian. Irenaeus said John wrote the book of Revelation toward the end of Domitian's reign, and I unquote, who died while serving as emperor in 96 AD, long after 70 AD. And another ancient historian, Eusebius, records that John was banished to Patmos during Domitian's 15th year of reign, AD 96. So let's just give a quick recap. None of these things have occurred yet, folks. Antichrist takes power, 1/4 of the world dies, never happened. Asteroid strikes the earth, never happened. All water rendered undrinkable, all fish in the sea die. The largest earthquake ever strikes. The Euphrates is dried up, allowing the world armies to gather at Israel. Never happened. Christ physically saves Israel. Has not happened yet. Satan is then bound. Christ reigns. Peace on earth. All wicked is destroyed then. Eternal peace then occurs for us Christians. None of these things have happened. And once again, number 10, historians say Revelation was written in 96 AD, almost 30 years after 70 AD. My dear friends, Jeff Durbin is wrong.